Om Shanti. This is the Murli slogan from the 22nd of April. Be merciful and cooperate with the bestower of teachings. I must say that I don't remember Baba ever giving himself this title, bestower of teachings. And it's kind of exciting, isn't it, to think that all that searching for the truth that we would have been doing, traveling the world, looking in the libraries, the bookstores, reading, meeting, getting degrees after degrees, and yet never really finding those teachings which could relieve the heart and settle the mind. And here now, the bestower of the teachings in front of me, showering me with these truths. So very beautiful teachings in today's Murli, aren't there? I choose 4 or 3. In the way he was saying, you only need to keep 3 or 4 points in the intellect. So one of my favorite points was how Baba has come to make us into flowers. Of course, it's not the first time he said it, but it's such a beautiful image for our study and the kind of teachings and the way God gives his teachings. He sees us as buds or seeds with the future of being as beautiful as a flower. What that means to me as I hold that point is that beauty is my original nature. It's the blueprint of the soul, and that this beauty would be so free from any vanity, any falseness. Beauty because beauty is. I remember a beautiful expression from before my days in Gyan. Someone once said, science can tell us what a flower is, but no one can tell us why is a flower. Just imagine how beautiful is creation because of the fact that there is such a thing called a flower. And so how beautiful is God's creation. He's emerging the flower in me. And I remember one Murli where Baba was actually saying, you have to learn to love like a flower loves. A flower doesn't close its petals and turn away just because a passerby moves past the flower without appreciating it or even looking at it. The flower just is. And whether or not the passerbys appreciate or even notice, the flower is not affected. Isn't this a kind of selflessness in loving? To just share your beauty with no conditions, no limitations, no expectations, no neediness, but just because beauty is your name. And then to think that I am becoming so beautiful, so completely thanks to him. That flower will not blossom without the sun, will it? I don't have to make any effort other than this one effort to keep myself turned towards the sun, which is another way of saying, remember Him alone. So what is this relationship between the flower and the sun? This partnership, this cooperation. Another point I really liked was, now you know, or now you understand that you know God. Do I? Because create that image in your mind of somebody walking around who knows God. Wouldn't their head be held up high all the time, filled with such a confidence about truth and the fortune, the blessing? Wouldn't that create so much happiness on their face? But are those my feelings all the time as I move through the day? So what is this knowing? How many different degrees and layers of knowing there must surely be? Because to know theoretically, all these facts and details that Baba has given us, that's not the knowing he's talking about. What's really going to bring that confidence and that sparkle to my face is this feeling that comes from knowing Him in the way He's teaching us to know Him. He's peeling away, He's melting away the many layers that have made my intellect stone and destroyed the ability of my intellect to connect to the unlimited and to experience what would be the most natural thing for the soul to experience, and that is his Father, being a child. Because the only thing that reassures me that I have started to know God are the feelings I get when I require myself to remember myself as a soul. That particular teaching really opens us to the unlimited, doesn't it? And then all the other feelings follow. And another point that I really liked was his direction. You have to come into the unlimited. You have to stay in the company of the truth. He's peeling away those layers. He's melting them down and coloring me with another color. Just like we get suntanned just by staying under those rays of the sun. My only job is to pay attention that I don't allow any other color to come on me. It's not an effort. It's, as he says, just to pay attention. That there's no other influences splashing on me and watering down and washing out these colors that I get while listening to Murli. So this is how I feel we end up being merciful and cooperating with the bestower of teachings. First of all, listen to Murli as a soul. That meditation before Murli, 6 to 6:30, is so important for us because it lays the foundation, the being in the unlimited, which is so necessary in order to be colored by the teachings rather than just hear them and study a theory. But then, what does it mean to note these things in our heart? For me, it means that literally I have to tune into at least one point from our 3, if not 4 subjects, and work with those all day. So, my practice these days is to be sure I've got at least one point of yoga, in other words, something which really touches my heart, like this point, I know God. And one point from Gyan, such as, you're becoming flowers. I've come to make you flowers. A point which requires me to turn, to understand and bring more meaning. That would be a point of Gyan. And then a point of Dharna. Any one of the points that he gives which starts with a verb. Like, now you have to come into the unlimited. You have to stabilize yourself in the unlimited. You have to keep yourself in the company of the truth. To note these and then play with them all day long. I think the process of imbibing these jewels, of claiming this inheritance, this is the way we have mercy on ourselves. And this is the way we end up cooperating with Him. We follow the teachings. And there's transformation. Om Shanti.